Hey everybody, Dr. T here. Today I will be discussing gaslighting. Now I have done a couple videos on this previously, but today I will go a little more in depth. Gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse where the abuser uses psychological manipulation, causing the victim to question themselves and reality. The gaslighting term comes from a 1938 stage play, Gaslight, in which a husband attempts to drive his wife crazy by dimming the lights, which were powered by gas, in their home, and then he later denies that the light changed when the wife points it out. It is an extremely effective form of emotional abuse that causes a victim to question their own feelings, instincts, and sanity. As a result, the abusive partner has a lot of power, and we know that abuse is about power and control. Indeed, once an abusive partner has broken down the victim's ability to trust their own perceptions, the victim is more likely to stay in the abusive relationship. There are a variety of gaslighting techniques that an abusive partner might use. Withholding. The abusive partner pretends not to understand or refuses to listen, such as, "I don't want to hear this again," or "You're trying to confuse me." Countering. The abusive partner questions the victim's memory of events despite the victim remembering them accurately. For example, "You're wrong. You never remember things correctly." Blocking or diverting. The abusive partner changes the subject and/or questions the victim's thoughts. For example, "Is that another crazy idea you got from such and such?" or "You're imagining things." Trivializing. The abusive partner makes the victim's needs or feelings seem unimportant. Example, "You're going to get angry over a little thing like that," or "You're too sensitive." Forgetting or denial. The abusive partner pretends to have forgotten what actually occurred or denies things like promises made to the victim. Example, "I don't know what you're talking about," or "You're just making stuff up." Generally, gaslighting happens very gradually in a relationship. In fact, the abusive partner's actions may seem harmless at first. Over time, however, these abusive patterns continue, and as a result, a victim can become confused, anxious, isolated, and depressed. Altogether, they can lose all sense of what is actually happening. Then they start relying on the abusive partner more and more to define reality, which creates a very difficult situation to escape. Basically, it's where an abuser makes the victim think that they're crazy. An abuser will lie or deny something even if the victim has proof of the situation, and will convince the victim that the event or action never happened, or that they are remembering the situation wrong. They will convince the victim that the proof is fake or shows something else completely different from what the victim initially believed. The abuser will argue and manipulate the victim to make the victim doubt everything they believe that they know. The abuser will also shift the blame to the victim and make the victim think that the action was their own fault and not the abuser's, such as "You're too sensitive," or "If you hadn't done that, this wouldn't have happened," leaving the victim feeling insecure, guilty, or crazy. Other gaslighting arguments could include, "You're imagining things," "I never said that," "You're crazy, that never happened," "I'm not doing anything wrong," "You're making all this up," "It was your fault," "Are you sure? You tend to have a bad memory," "It's all in your head." Does your partner repeatedly say things that confuse you? Because of this, do you often start questioning your own perception of reality within your relationship? Do you question your sanity altogether? If so, your partner may be using gaslighting. In order to overcome this type of abuse, it's important to start recognizing the signs and eventually learn to trust yourself again. The signs of being a victim of gaslighting include: you constantly second guess yourself. You ask yourself, "Am I too sensitive?" multiple times a day. You often feel confused and even crazy. You're always apologizing to your partner. You can't understand why, with so many apparently good things in your life, you aren't happier. You frequently make excuses for your partner's behavior to friends and family. You find yourself withholding information from friends and family so you don't have to explain or make excuses. You know something is terribly wrong, but you can never quite express what it is, even to yourself. You start lying in order to avoid the put downs and reality twists. You have trouble making simple decisions. You have the sense that you used to be a very different person, more confident, more fun loving, more relaxed. You feel hopeless and joyless. You feel as though you can't do anything right. You wonder if you are a good enough partner. The purpose of gaslighting is to break a victim's confidence and create doubt, making it difficult for the victim to challenge the gaslighting behavior because they will be unsure of their own thoughts and perceptions. Don't let anyone gaslight you. Trust your instincts, don't doubt yourself, and always believe in yourself.
If you or someone you know is in an abusive situation, call the National Helpline at 1-800-799-SAFE or text START to 88788. Everyone deserves a healthy relationship.